This podcast is brought to you by
Manscaped.
That's right. When you're scaping your man, check out Manscaped. Manscaped.com. By the way, the trimmers are for both men and women. Doesn't really matter. Use the promo code DANGLE and get 20% off and free shipping when you use the promo code DANGLE. So check it out. Let's start the show.
SDP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Hello.
So let me ask you this. If you were a Washington Capitals fan this morning, would you be upset with the Toronto Maple Leafs goaltender for what happened to Alexander Ovechkin last night?
Man, that's a weird play.
It's a weird play.
If I was a Caps fan, yeah, probably. But I'm a Leafs fan, so it's Erik Källgren. He has a long-established reputation of being great and nice. No, I don't know. We just
don't really know.
met this guy too.
Yeah.
I
don't think does it. First off, I don't think I think we can take on purpose off the table.
Yes, that's very.
I don't
clear.
think he's like, you know what? I'd like to disrupt his postseason, even though they're probably not going to make it out of the first round.
trip him, have him mangle himself on the boards. Yeah.
Yeah. So that. But the second question is, and I love producer Drew for this because producer Drew likes to put out stuff that rankles Leaf fans. He's an Avs fan. By the way, they've lost 4 straight. Haha. Second,
they?
Yeah. And anytime the Leafs
matter.
it doesn't matter, but they have lost 4 straight. Going to the playoffs, something to freak out about.
A little.
Colorado might not have it.
Oh, what if they don't?
Coming up on Sports Center.
Man, what if they're the next Golden Knights?
Does Colorado have it?
Man.
But of course, producer Drew took the replay, threw it up on his Twitter, and said, "Well, this looks dangerous to me." And of course, he had a bunch of Leaf fans go, "No, it's not." So the question is, objectively, is the stick play as he was trying to see it seemingly go for a poke check?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it a dangerous play because it happened a little bit late? Ovi gets his feet caught up, and it looked like a really bad shoulder thing. And obviously, he was pissed off even going into the tunnel.
Yes. First and foremost, producer Drew has been training in the dojo his entire life. Mm-hmm. He has grown up in the greater Toronto area as a Avalanche fan with a brother who is a Leafs fan. So he has to deal with this every day. He could log off Twitter, and his own flesh and blood is still a dirty, dirty Leafs fan who he gets to rankle and fist fight for hockey purposes on all occasions. I did a Zapruder film breakdown of the trip yesterday. I think the initial contact made with Ovechkin's skate was totally accidental. The initial contact when Källgren makes contact with Ovechkin's right skate, that's a goaltender who is fully extending and then coming back because he's not made of tissue paper. He's not gonna flap his arms back and then continue to go back until the back of his hands clap together.
Right.
The question for me, if I'm a Capitals fan, is could he have taken his stick off quicker? Could he have taken his stick off in a different way? Does his paddle flip up in a way?
Mm-hmm.
Because Ovechkin, when the initial contact happens, Ovechkin's fine. Like, he's safe. He's planted on his left foot. There's no issue. I think he thought he would be able to escape Källgren's stick. He wasn't able to. He trips. He's skating at the speed of Alexander Ovechkin, and he smashes into the boards.
Like a freight train.
I don't know. I have such a hard time condemning Erik Källgren for something that is so run-of-the-mill. Like, it feels like that happens quite often.
Yes.
Or some version of it.
Yeah, and usually to a lesser consequence, right? Usually it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't end that way. Not everybody skates like Alexander Ovechkin. Like, here's the thing. There's fast cars, and then there's muscle cars.
Right.
Muscle cars are known for torque, and Ovechkin, to me, has torque.
That's
interesting. He's fast, but he can pull a trailer.
So, you know how they always say there's a fast shot and a hard shot, and I'm always like, well, what the hell's the difference? Ovechkin is a hard skater.
Yes,
is what you're saying.
100%. And oh man, I can't imagine. I felt bad for the boards there, honestly.
I'm surprised he didn't go through them.
Seriously. So hopefully he's okay for the playoffs. Obviously, the Capitals. It's so funny to say the Capitals. Well, they're the weakest looking team in the East this year. They also have 100 points.
Yeah, and also that's changed a little bit recently. I think about a month ago I would have said that, but they've played well. It's just
Pittsburgh lost.
They keep running into the Leafs,
and they're falling down the standings. It's debatable who's the weak team, and depending on how you look at it, like are you throwing New York in there because they have no experience? They're just a goalie,
Right.
And goal scoring, I guess. But
Pittsburgh lost an unforgivable game.
mm-hmm.
You can't lose that game.
Right.
Talk
lost
about
to
what game that is.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You lost to the Delph. You can't lose to the Delph. Not this season. For
Not
goodness
now.
sake. Not now.
Yeah.
When the points on the line are so important. And it really does, if we're going to go purely on recency bias,
mm-hmm.
God damn it, it's Tampa's conference. Yet again.
Why? Because they didn't look good the last 2 weeks, and then now they've had a string of
3 wins,
4 straight games that they look good. 3 wins.
They had 8 goals, 6 goals, 8 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Their 2 8-goal performances were against the Panthers and Leafs. And obviously the Panthers just had a 13-game win streak snap, so we should probably throw a little asterisk on that. But the Rangers are such an interesting case. There's so much debate as to whether or not they're a paper tiger. I mean, they have the best goalie in the league. Should they, this season, should they be punished for that? Pittsburgh, falling off. Capitals, getting stronger, but they haven't had the strongest season, even though they have 100 points, LOL.
And
they are a point behind the
Carolina.
Penguins.
And Capitals are 12-3-1, I believe. In their
Really
last,
good.
whatever that is.
Mm-hmm. Last 10 is 7-1-2.
Carolina's
better.
onto their third goalie, and it's looking like it's potentially going to be that guy for game 1. Kachekov?
Oh, you're asking me?
I think is his name. He's supposed to be very good, but you're asking him to be very good immediately. And then there's Boston, who's hello you.
But
hello again.
There you're looking at Boston. You're like, okay, the injuries are starting to pile up for these guys. Everybody's kind of aging their stars, and more guys are sitting out just for load management, as Tavares did. And you're like, okay, is everybody going to be healthy, or are they going to be able to go on another run in the playoffs? There's a lot of holes here, but there's a lot of teams who are just going to surprise us as well.
I was off the couch yesterday when the Leafs won in the shootout and when they tied it.
You were that excited?
I was that excited because as the game, I was trying to convince myself when they went down 3-1 that, it is what it is. Which I never win that argument with myself.
I was shocked
never win it.
This morning when I woke up and I looked at the LFR and it said 19 minutes and 35 seconds or whatever. It's like,
that was too long.
Why did you get 20 minutes out of that game? Because going into it, I'm like, second night of a back-to-back. It's on a Sunday. They're not starting half of their lineup. The other half's injured. Matthews is giving 75% effort.
Yeah.
It's not that consequential of a game. I'm like, oh, Steve's fired up for it. It showed.
2 things happened there. One, there was an incident that required review, which that always adds on time to the video.
And those weren't the video reviews. You're talking about the injury.
Right. Yeah, there were 2 video reviews and Ovechkin got hurt. That's crazy. That's a very eventful game, right? And it went to a 7-round shootout, and Leafs took too many men calling overtime, and it was actually a very eventful game. But the other thing is I had a stomach bug this weekend and I was extremely low energy. And sometimes in those situations, I'm like, okay, I gotta fight through this and I gotta find stuff to talk about. And I almost always find too much. I always overcompensate in those situations. So I didn't know it was going to be that long, but I saw the length of the file that I sent Drew. And I'm like, oh, I think this young man is not going to go to bed for a while. And I woke up this morning, it was 19 and a half, and I go,
ooh, that's long.
For game 80, huh?
I thought you
Sorry.
You literally took an entire period to explain 3 periods.
No, almost an entire.
No, that's literally what happened.
I know. I overcompensated for that one.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to go full Leaf fan on you for a second. Is anyone else starting to get a little anxious about Matthews hitting 60?
Yes. It's weird, though. He doesn't seem anxious about it.
No, and I don't think he's anxious about anything, but I want it so bad for him. Is that fair?
I think he's going to try to pull an Ovechkin on Tuesday. He's going to try to light the Detroit Red Wings on actual fire and then take game 82 off, whether he's in the lineup or not. You know what I mean? He's just going to take it off. I think, because you and I are going to that game.
Against Boston? Yeah, I wouldn't play any Stars against them.
If the Leafs clinch home ice, whether Matthews has 60 or not on Tuesday, Friday does not matter in the slightest. Because, actually, that's not true.
It does matter.
Because if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs and you clinch home ice on Tuesday,
you still play.
You could potentially clinch home ice without getting the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other teams can just lose.
But you
Exactly.
you play a key role in who plays you.
You could essentially choose your opponent by how much you take the night off or not. And if you're the Leafs, who do you want to play, Boston or Tampa? Dude, those are two terrible options. They're both awful options. What do you think? I think the Leafs probably want the Bruins, just because. I don't know.
Because of the history?
Because they're both terrible options, and you're gonna. I mean, wouldn't you want it if you had that competitive fire? Wouldn't you want a chance at redemption there?
Yes.
So you don't think Tampa's just going to solve this themselves in the next 3 games?
Oh no, they're gonna.
Yeah.
They're
so
gonna.
I don't even think
you don't think it's an issue,
Friday's not an issue.
No, you don't think so?
That's not a debate here.
As of right now, it is.
Yeah.
Because what are they separated by?
3 points.
games.
3 games and 3
points.
points.
And then they each have 3 games left. They got 6 points up on the board.
Oh, I thought it was only 1 point.
Nah.
No, that's
Tampa's going to
Pittsburgh,
solve
Washington.
this. They just need 2 wins here. They just need a couple points.
Yeah.
Tampa's going to do
Washington is a game in hand on Pittsburgh, and they're only a point behind. So
Yeah.
that is interesting.
it. I'd look at Washington passing Boston before I look at Boston passing Tampa.
Wow.
Mhm.
You're welcome, Pittsburgh fans. By the way,
Yeah.
Leafs were down 3-1 in that one, and they held Washington to 1 point. You are welcome.
That will be a curious thing. I do have a question about load management too. If you take 1 game off, what does that really do?
I think it does something.
Does it? Because I feel like when Kawhi did it in Toronto, he would take a week off.
Right.
And I understand maybe in the play getting this close to playoffs, you maybe don't want to take a full week, but maybe an extra 24 hours I'm sure makes a difference. But how much of that is appreciable?
It makes a difference.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%. Second night of a back-to-back, and you're playing a full game of hockey. You got to.
So you think in game 5 of round 1 that will help?
Yeah, no, it'll help 100%.
Dude. Well, Matthews did just take a week off.
Yeah,
for
because
an injury the Leafs refused to disclose.
Right.
I think it's so much easier to be like, oh yeah, John Tavares is taking a night off against the Caps, than, oh yeah, the league's leading goal scorer and potential MVP is taking a week off.
Right.
He might. Every member of that roster has an injury. All of them.
They're
right?
all injured.
They're all walking funny this morning, or holding something different, or they're a little extra attentive when they pick something up. It's wild that hockey is an 82-game regular season. A contact sport is an 82-game regular season. What other contact sport has a season this long?
It's a good
Football,
question.
you play once a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of nuts.
I saw a TikTok once with a guy who was, I think, the offensive lineman for the Arizona Cardinals, and his wife was basically chirping him because he can't lift up plates and dishes during the week, physically can't do it.
Yeah.
But then on Sunday he gets ready and stops 300-pound man from doing 300-pound man things.
I heard
It's crazy.
a story of this guy. He lived near it was either a massage place or a chiropractor's office, and there was a Leafs defenseman who would limp into this place, decrepit, and then he would walk out and he'd be totally fine. But that's a guy who probably less than 24 hours later is getting crushed by 220, 230 pound men several times for the next 2.5 hours.
So you're saying with Matthews that week off, yes, he had and likely has injuries, as everybody does.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the same argument they made with Joffrey Lupul. You could find an injury to put him on LTIR. You could find one.
Absolutely.
Not hard to find that in a professional athlete.
All of them.
So you're saying publicity-wise, you're not saying to Toronto and to the league, hey, the league's leading goal scorer just wants to take a week off. Because probably the headlines would be horrific about that.
It'd be awful because it's just not a part of the culture.
Right.
Right. And I don't think he wanted to take a week off. Like, I think somebody had to tell him, like, you need this rest here.
Do you want to win the first round?
Right.
Okay, then take
right.
the week off.
Then that's the Leafs being smart, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Because
100%.
You give a player in almost any sport the option. They're going to play.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of. I was thinking about this, like with the whole Ben Simmons discourse and everything. I think we're forgetting that a teammate of his is Kevin Durant, who had his team had the season on the line, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna come back because the season is on the line, and it cost him a year of his career.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back. He lasted a quarter and a bit
Against the Raptors.
and his friggin' Achilles snapped.
Yep.
Like, that feels like he might have. Like, did anyone pay for that decision, or like, did he just overrule everybody?
Who knows?
There shouldn't be a situation where you can overrule the team's medical staff.
Right.
You can play or you can't. Like, is Andre Kasha barging into the Leafs office? I'm playing tomorrow.
But I think it's different, right? I definitely think that there'd be a scale. Kevin Durant,
A little different than Andre Kasha.
best offensive player since Michael Jordan. Like, he's insane. And then you've got, Matthews, who's an incredible history-making goal scorer this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they would have a different sort of sway with management. But, in Kevin Durant's defense, that was the finals. This is game 77 to 80, right? So it doesn't matter as much. And I could see why they held him out. So you're that what I wanted to get to was that was the suggestion, right?
I think I've told this very embarrassing story before, but I'll tell it again. When I worked at the zoo, there was the zoo curse where every year a Toronto Maple Leaf would come and do a signing at the zoo, and every year they would get traded within like 6 months. But so Nick Antropov was doing it one year, and I brought a bunch of stuff for him to sign, but I was embarrassed about the amount of stuff I wanted him to sign. So I got my friend who did not like hockey at all to go on his lunch at the same time as me so he could get some stuff signed as well. So I get some stuff signed. I say thank you. He comes behind me. He gets some stuff signed. But instead of being a total geek like me, he's like, so, you're a hockey player, huh? And Nick Antropov goes, yep. He goes, how's that going for you? And he just goes, well, my back's fucked. And that was mid-career.
That's actually really funny.
Like, these guys are all battling heinous shit. You could, I don't know how to walk the line with that one.
Right. Okay, well,
because if a hockey player says if any professional athlete says they're hurt, I'm like, I guess I believe you.
So then let me ask you guys this: is Michael Bunting actually injured, or is he resting injured?
He is. Oh, he'd be out. I think he'd be out a month if the playoffs weren't next week.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, but that's I'm pulling that out of my ass. I'm completely guessing because I don't know. Okay. Let me tell you an idea I had a long time ago that I was wrong about.
Okay.
So one thing I wanted badly is for some sort of sports medical expert to basically, okay, if an injury is disclosed, like the team says, here's the injury, they're going to be out X amount of time, blah. I think it's perfectly okay for a medical expert to be like, all right, so here's what happened. Here's, the way they're probably going to go about it. Here's how I would typically go about it. Here's how a citizen would go about it. And here's how a professional athlete goes about it. I think that's fine. But when a medical professional gets online and guesses the injury and the severity, which is something that I had a curiosity about before, but then seeing it the other day, people tweeting like, oh yeah, I think it could be an MCL with Michael Bunting and that's 4 to 6 weeks. That made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It made me uncomfortable. I don't think there was any ill intent, but man, that makes me uncomfortable.
Why is that?
I don't know. Because everyone immediately goes into a frenzy and it could be over nothing. Like, right. So we're being told he's going to be out for a month and a half versus Sheldon Keefe going, he woke up feeling better than expected. Like, so listen, we're all going to find out once their season is done, whether it's in a couple weeks or a couple months,
How bad? The injury
bad?
report after this season's done is amazing. It's
This year, I think it's going to be brutal.
Yeah, because of the compressed schedule.
Well, the compressed schedule and also just how many guys have missed games here and there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And how many guys are like coming off of surgeries, and Mikheyev putting his hand in a cup of ice and then helping
Getting
to
his
tie the game.
20th goal. A lot of people clowned Jonas Siegel earlier this season when he wrote an article saying, how will the Leafs keep Ilya Mikheyev?
Dude's got 20 goals.
Man, if I were Jonas Siegel, I'd be tweeting that out right now. 20 goals, power forward, good to play on good defensive player, gets in people's faces, will fight somebody.
Yeah.
Like I
in 2015,
he's going to make a lot of money this summer.
In 2015-16, he'd be tied for the Leaf lead in goals. He'd be tied with
P.A. Parento. Yeah. All right. 20 goals that year. And he's the 4th or 5th Leaf to get 20 goals this year.
Oh, man. Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander, Bunting. Might be 6th.
Jeez.
Lapushkin soon.
Man.
As long as the Leafs have more games remaining against the Capitals.
Can we say that Labushkin had a really good night last night? Like, I mean,
he did.
The deflection in was, it's a lucky goal, but like him blocking shots and moving guys, and I really like this guy. I know that he's limited. I know
he's got warts, but the team is better with him.
He gets turned a lot. Like
he does get
third.
You can walk Labushkin if you attack him right.
The Marcus Johansson goal, totally on him.
Yeah, like it's not my favorite thing that he's on the first line. Like I know we've committed to Riley Bush for the playoffs now. It seems like that's what they like, but
Man.
I'd like Riley Brody back if it was my team.
So I have to ask this of both of you: why have we committed to Riley Bush when Riley Brody worked so well for so long?
I think that Sheldon Keefe seems like thinks it works better with the 6 pairings or the 6 guys. That you can spread out Brody better, and I think Riley likes playing with Labushkin. I think we see that because they're always out there, and it looks like they're having a good time. They work well together, so I think that's what he's going to stick with.
Okay,
You got to play a certain way in certain situations.
and Bush is going to hold back. There's no question.
Yeah, I like him defending the muck. I don't like him defending the rush.
Right. Okay.
He loves joining the rush now. Like he's
Yeah.
dude, he does it all the time. Since he scored his first goal, he's like, I am Erik Karlsson. And he just
And it's the oddest thing when his partner is Morgan Riley, who should be the guy on that pairing doing that.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
I'd
Part
like
of
to
me-
see Riley up there a little.
It's like, remember Martin Marinson's sick goal against the Canucks?
Mm-hmm.
I think a
Everybody
big
knows that goal, obviously.
Yeah.
Like I know the date.
Against the Canucks. Remember that one? The Canucks one?
No, we all have it etched in our minds.
You're clowning on me? I guarantee you most of the people watching this know.
I'm sure a lot of people know.
I'm sure
The
they
goal
do.
against the Canucks
I'm
where he hit
sure,
the
I'm
post.
sure a lot of people also don't.
Yeah, so
And
tell us.
you need
Tell
to
us.
do.
explain. You
Most
need
people
to
Tell us.
explain
So
for
one
people
of-
who don't know.
One of the final games before the COVID shutdown. Remember the game Matthews scored 2 on Demko and one of them literally transported between his pads?
Yes.
Yes.
I actually do remember that.
Yes. So that happened. The third period starts. John Tavares feeds Martin Marincin, who goes 1-on-2 against the Canucks defense, to which the Canucks defense responded, lol,
What year was this?
Right before the COVID shutdown.
2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you were referring to the COVID shutdown.
Okay. Sorry, the first one.
Yeah, there's been 3.
The first, yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah, good point. So right before the first COVID shutdown, he flies in 1-on-2, rips the puck from just inside the blue line, freaking cracks it off the post. And everyone is just, what? And because of the confusion, he's able to swoop in, get his own rebound, and score. His celebration is hilarious because he looks surprised. All the Leafs look surprised. Tyson Barrie's face is priceless. Tyson Barrie was on the team. William Nylander, face is priceless. I think a big part of the reason he was able to score that goal is no one saw it coming.
Bush?
And that's Bush now.
Yeah.
That's Bush.
When it was Marner to Matthews to Bush.
Dude, he had 1 goal in 180 games before joining the Leafs. He has 2 in 29.
Yeah. And 5 points.
And 5 points.
Come on.
Watch out, Gretzky.
Yeah, he cannot be stopped.
Yeah, he's going to join.
897. Here he comes.
Once he's done, he's joining the Edmonton Oilers management group with Paul Coffey, Wayne Gretzky,
Absolutely.
Kevin Lowe, all the best Oilers of all time, and Bush.
The question is not will he score 15 points next year? It's when.
Game 81 or game 82?
It's gonna happen. Can't be stopped.
Okay. So I did want to talk about something on Saturday night, because remember there were 2 games this week, and I actually saw some tweets on Saturday night that were like, Sunday night. Yes, last night, going, Jesus, there's another game, because there has been a lot in a short amount of time. We're used to like 2.5, 3 a week.
This was a tiring 3 and 4.
It was.
I was like, I got to get up tomorrow too. That's cool.
So, again, we go back to this, but there are. It was even mentioned in the intermission on Hockey Night in Canada, Justin Hall being too deep and pinching and having the right idea, but not controlling the play. And they're able to turn around on him and come back up the ice and score.
Oh, in Florida.
Yeah.
He's gotten crushed a few times recently too.
Yeah. So, I know he's playing now, but come playoffs, is he starting?
Oh, boy. I don't think so. I mean, he's off the team next year for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
He's got another year left.
He does. They're going to have to find a solution for that, because I don't think it makes sense for him to play. I'd like them to try to re-sign Lyubushkin. Liljegren needs to be full-time. Sandin needs to be full-time.
Giordano will be back, probably.
I would like that very much. So game 1 of the playoffs, Riley Bush looks like a thing. They want Muzzin Brody to be a thing. And if he's healthy, it will be. But what if he's not? And then Giordano Liljegren works too damn well. Worked way too damn well. Listen, Riley had his little apprenticeship. He doesn't need it anymore. Giordano re-signing in Toronto for even 1 year to play with Liljegren sets him up for the rest of his career, I think. He's playing his best hockey with him right now. Liljegren with Muzzin worked for a time, and then it super didn't. This works. Game in, game out. So, and then that's not even including Rasmus Sandin, right? How comfortable is he on the right? Well, that's a little bit of a point of contention, but everybody healthy, I can't imagine how Justin Hall plays game 1. The only way he does is if they're not healthy. That's it.
Okay. I've done this before, but I'm going to ask again. Jesse, do you do therapy?
Yes.
Steve, do you do therapy?
Yes.
I also do therapy. And I have to tell you, BetterHelp is an option for you if you're thinking about it. And the thing about BetterHelp that's different and special is that you can kind of choose the avenue by which you receive the therapy that you're looking for. And I think sometimes people are always a little bit intimidated. I can remember before my first therapy session, I had no idea what to expect. And that's why BetterHelp's cool, because you have the opportunity to meet online, like on a video chat, or you can video chat, I say, like you can talk over video, or you can just kind of text each other, essentially.
Going for your first one is the hardest. It's the hardest part, and it's the most important part.
It is. And this is the thing. So it's much more affordable than in-person therapy. You can give it a try online and see if therapy can lower your stress. And this podcast, as we told you, sponsored by BetterHelp. Steve Dangle Podcast listeners get 10% off their free first month at BetterHelp.com/SDP. That's BetterHelp.com/SDP. Steve Dangle Podcast is now sponsored in part by StatHead, powered by Hockey Reference. StatHead is the easiest to use and most powerful sports research tool on the internet. With a StatHead subscription, you can go inside the Hockey Reference database and answer your questions about hockey stats and history. You don't have to just remember them like Steve Dangle does.
Well, can't all be perfect like me.
You want to know what rookie had the most hat tricks? Who scored the most goals in their entire career? 5-on-5, you can look that up. You can do it all with StatHead, Corsi, Fenwick. It's all there. You can try StatHead for free for 2 months by going to stathead.com and using the promo code STP to sign up for a monthly subscription. That's 2 free months of Hockey StatHead. Yes, Jesse?
I have a StatHead stat.
Oh, okay, go.
Which player scored the most career regular season goals against Martin Brodeur?
The most?
Yeah.
Has to be a divisional rival, right?
You would think so. Most regular season goals. against Martin Brodeur.
Quickly, this is a short ad.
It's free.
Simon Gagne.
Yeah, that's right.
19. That stuff you can look up directly on StatHead.
Try StatHead for
That's
free for 2 months by going to stathead.com and using the promo code SDP to sign up for a monthly subscription. 2 free months, Hockey StatHead, or you can try the All Sports plan, which will give you similar tools to exploring baseball, pro football, and basketball reference. Use that promo code SDP. Moving on, is there any other team in the league that does a better job of honoring its greats than the Habs?
Absolutely not.
Like,
Not one.
time and again, you're like, just when you're like, okay, the Habs might have hit their peak with their honoring former Habs. No. And the Guy Lafleur tribute was no exception. But just absolutely unbelievable stuff. And it's nice because there is an entire generation, multiple generations. Like, we would have been too young to watch Guy play.
Yeah.
Unless we were like 2. Jesse wasn't born yet. You know, it's important that you know your history a little bit, especially if you're a Habs fan, because there's a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Guy Lafleur is a guy you want to know. What did you think of the tribute when you guys saw it?
It's just, it doesn't surprise me. It's just it's a good reminder, you know. Montreal, I can't help but have a reverence for their fans. I feel like the Channel 8 news team, just, I pure straight hate you, but God damn it, I respect you.
Yeah.
And I'm totally not surprised. Like when I think it was Patrick Waugh was like, you know, why are we doing a moment of silence? Guy Lafleur never generated a moment of silence in his entire career. We should be cheering. It should be an ovation, right?
Who said that? Patrick Waugh?
Patrick Waugh.
Okay.
Well, I'm paraphrasing.
Right. But Patrick Waugh is whenever there's a side, he's on the other side. So
No, but
he's gonna find every single way to not be on the side of wherever everybody is.
He is truly a silly man, but I was with him. I was with him on that one. Like, yeah, there are
gosh.
players who deserve an ovation.
Yeah.
Is
You know?
Patrick Waugh different for the sake of different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
I get you.
what I'm
I know
trying
what
to
you're
say
saying.
here.
Yeah. I got that.
Patrick Waugh is going to be difficult in every single situation that Patrick Waugh exists in.
He just walks up to a business that's closed on her. We'll see about that.
Should be open.
Open for me.
Yeah, open for me, Patrick Waugh.
Yeah, it's
Anyway.
but it was a beautiful thing to
Besides
see.
the point.
Guy Lafleur being honored like that was very, very cool.
For
And
me, I think it's important to show like the rest of the world what this guy means to the country and like the city in particular and the team. You know, he's gonna have I believe it's called a national funeral or whatever it is.
Yeah,
State funeral.
State funeral. Yeah.
On May 3rd, because as a person, as a hockey player, he grew into this legend. Like Adam, I forget what you called him, the God tier.
he's God tier level.
A God
like
tier.
especially in Montreal, right? Like, and you better be God of gods for Montreal to honor you because they've had so many stars.
Well,
Right.
the pinnacle that I don't think will ever be replicated is Maurice Rocket Richard.
In terms of
Well,
like the worship,
well, like didn't thousands of people like
he got suspended for the playoffs one year because he literally axe chopped a guy with his stick in the head.
right?
And so they suspended him for the entire playoffs. And the first game, the Montreal Forum erupted, and people brought flares, and they had to evacuate the arena.
yeah,
Like
I'm talking.
so that's different.
I'm talking about after he passed.
Yeah.
Oh, after he passed.
So
yeah.
after he passed, like, did they not have him in the forum and like thousands of people came to
Oh, yeah.
pay their respect?
Yes.
Like that'll never be replicated.
Yeah.
Never be replicated for the rest of the history of the National Hockey League. But again, it's the Montreal Canadiens.
Right. And
Yeah.
just for the rest of the world, like looking in, they're like, why is Canada celebrating this hockey player? And it's like, no, look at what's going to happen on May 3rd. Look at what happened in Montreal on Saturday night. No, this guy through hockey means so much to so many people.
Mhm.
I think it's so important for people to see that and to understand what that means.
Yeah.
And also Montreal and Quebec, it's just different.
Mm-hmm.
It's just different. Their relationship with hockey is, Toronto's the hockey mecca. Montreal and Quebec's relationship with hockey is just different than everybody else's.
We got more people, but I don't think it means more.
No,
Yeah,
I think it's different.
It's very difficult to explain.
In
You
the
have
late
to experience it.
I think in the late 60s, you might have had something comparable. I think there's two very different cultures in Montreal and Toronto. Toronto was, for a long, long time, very Protestant, very stay in your home. Why would you go out? Whereas Montreal has always been like, let's get out and have party, right? It's the Catholic Protestant. It's the and that's what it was in the 60s. And I think if you were to talk to fans in 1967, I think they would have said, as a Montrealer, they would have been like, they are, I live by this team. In Toronto, because they were so, well, you know, we just got to be, we're going to be ourselves and whatever. There were people that literally didn't go to the Stanley Cup parade. There was only 20,000 people at the 67 Stanley Cup parade because they're like, they win it like every other year anyway.
There's going to be another one.
That was the attitude. There is a difference. And like, I love the Leafs and I'm a huge Leaf fan, but
Didn't Bobby
it's just
Bond
not the same.
Even go?
Did he not go?
He was on the winning team and didn't go.
Really?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I remember that from his book. It was about one of the parades. He just didn't go.
I don't know what they thought was going to happen. Expansion was coming.
All right, now that Guy Lafleur has been put to rest, let's have the debate. Should cups with only 6 teams in a league count as half cups?
Oh,
Did someone tweet that?
No.
Are you tweeting it now with your mouth?
I'm gonna get my Twitter fingers ready.
That's a full quarter of the league. Should they be considered quarter cups?
Quarter cups.
Man.
Actually, no. Is that even a quarter? No, it's not.
There was a tweet that was like,
It's a third.
he wouldn't even make the 4th line today. And I was like, are you okay? Is everyone okay?
Oh, God.
We need to plant more grass so everyone can touch it.
I don't think taking a player, like, that's like saying, you know what? The fastest car from 60 years ago couldn't even keep up with today's standard car. Yeah, I know. Like, I have a car that is literally 50 years old, and people ask me all the time, like, is your truck faster or is it your car? I'm like, my truck is faster than my car. Of course it is. It's 50 years newer. Are you guys, what kind of take is that? Anyway, Guy Lafleur.
Are we taking away all the cups?
Yes.
With the original.
Take it away. It
16s?
doesn't matter. Sorry, Montreal. You only have 7 or 8 in the expansion era, so you only get to have those.
I got a moment with the cup recently.
Did you?
I was in the same room as the Stanley Cup.
Where? Was it the real one or the fake one?
It was, well, if you ask them, they say it's the real one.
They always say it's the real one.
And they say there's 2 real ones, and I go, that's not a thing.
No, it isn't.
That's impossible. Why do you keep saying that? Anyway, it was in the Sportsnet studios. I got to do a little shoot with it. I did not touch it. The reason I'm telling you this story is I was looking for the 66-67 Leafs on the cup.
1 year, or how many? 3 cups away from being removed?
9.
9? Okay.
Oh.
I got that wrong.
9. I believe it was the longest you can be on the cup, like your one team can be on the cup, I think is 61 years, and the shortest is 52. It depends on where you end up on the band.
On the ring, yeah.
Either way, it's
around the cup.
a long time.
We're getting
long
there. Have you
time.
ever
We're
touched
getting
the
there.
Stanley Cup?
I think I did when I was like 7.
Okay.
Me too.
And I feel like if you're a child, it shouldn't count because you're not responsible for your limbs.
Have you touched it as an adult?
No.
Why is that?
Because no.
You wouldn't touch the cup?
I don't think, as somebody who is not a professional athlete and will never work for a professional hockey organization, that you do not have to hold to the tradition of not touching the cup unless you win it.
If the Leafs win the cup and I am invited to touch the cup, I will 100% touch the cup.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah. Or
I'll take that.
Yeah.
If your team wins,
it's not mine, man. It's not mine.
I don't know. Adam, would you touch it?
It's a
if it
piece
was
of
in the
metal,
room?
yeah.
Would you take a picture
Well,
with it?
I've heard of stories of active NHL players who their friend wins it and they drink out of it.
What's wrong with that?
Well,
Have some fun.
Depends on who you ask.
See, to me, okay, I'm just not superstitious.
There you go.
You just a little stitious?
I'm not even a little stitious. I'm a non-stitious. I'm anti-stitious. And really, does the cup mean a lot to me? Absolutely. But does that, and that's what I meant by it when I said it's a hunk of metal. And I was paraphrasing the MLB commissioner. But what I'm trying to say here is, like, it doesn't, like, you touching it does not affect the outcome of a hockey game. You know that, right?
If you were the captain,
You know, like, think about the logic. And Jesse, one sec. But think about the logic. That's like you driving my car, and then I get into an accident with my car, and I go, Steve, you touched my fucking car, and now I'm in an accident.
Yeah, but there aren't millions of people who think your car is like holy.
Yeah,
who doesn't like a good old Honda Ridgeline? It is holy. Sorry. And
if you're the captain of an Eastern Conference team and you win the Eastern Conference Finals and the Clarence B. Lawrence Trophy, I don't even, what is it called? Lawrence Campbell B. Trophy of
Clarence Campbell?
Clarence
you
Campbell.
saying
Partridge.
19 names screwed it up for me.
I
knew it 5 seconds ago, and now I don't know.
But now you're doubting yourself.
the Lawrence Partridge Cavendish Farms trophy is brought out, are you touching it?
So Sidney Crosby buried that in the ground, and good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. Like, we always talk about how he needs to have a bigger role in the Player Association. And he said, what if I just touch the conference trophy?
And he did it, and they
we
won
were
the
like,
cup.
All right, that works. Yeah, he did it, and then they won the cup.
So to Adam's point, is being superstitious kind of stupid?
Oh, it's definitely kind of stupid, but I'm still
I can't wait. I'm gonna get lit up for that. I know that. I know I'm gonna get lit up.
No.
Here, what's disrespectful to the cup? Like,
Dude,
get
there
out.
are people.
No.
There are people who think I'm a bad person and will never watch me again because I wore a Habs jersey last year.
I had an
Yes,
adult
people
man.
will absolutely think that about your.
I had an
Stanley Cup.
adult man tell me that, who I know and who works in broadcasting.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I'm like, listen, I'm like, you work in broadcasting. How long you worked in broadcasting? He's like, 35 years. I said, okay. I said, so you understand how broadcasting works, right? You have to talk about other teams other than that. He's like, yeah, but you don't understand. It's different. I'm like,
It's
I'm
not.
like, it isn't. He works for a national network. It's going to happen.
And to be clear, does this person have a driver's license?
Yes.
God help us.
Like, it was just like, it was,
God
you know
help
what?
us.
You know those conversations you have that are literally out of body and you're like, I can't believe, like, this feels like something that Joe1571 on Twitter would tweet at me. It doesn't feel like something a real human being
Oh yeah.
with kids and a life would say to me.
Oh man, I have known you for several years, and this whole time I was under the impression you were smart and normal.
It's wild.
And-
No, they are. They are. It's just there's
Well, no.
when it comes to superstition, they're not normal. It's as abnormal, Steve. It's on the same spectrum as you not touching the cup because you believe it's not yours or because you believe the Leafs won't win the cup because you touched
I
it.
don't think it is.
It's
Where do you
exactly the
watch
same.
every Leafs game?
From my house.
Yeah, you got to sit on the couch.
Oh damn.
Oh yeah, Jesse.
That was-
Okay,
that
explain
was-
this one.
That was a
Explain this
stition
one.
that I had. I had a stition.
Explain
kinda
this one.
stupid, Steve.
It was
Yeah, right.
very stupid, and it didn't work.
It's never
Talk
worked.
about it.
So,
So Adam and Jesse got together to watch a playoff game. I think it was 2018. And they're like, Steve, you should come. And I was like, I'm not going to because I have to sit at home on my couch in this certain spot because if I do, they will win. And they didn't.
They didn't, and they
They have
haven't
not.
since. And you've moved locations, and nothing's really changed.
Maybe that's how the Leafs finally win a playoff series. If they get to an elimination game, I have to go watch it at my parents' house.
you know what? If they get past the first round, I
Right.
say you have to burn the couch,
Okay.
guys.
It's a very
don't
comfy
you
couch.
don't you believe we? Don't you think he's got to burn the couch?
It's a
You gotta
don't
burn the couch.
a man's couch.
I think you got to burn
Are
the
you
couch.
watching-
It is an amazing, soft yet deep couch.
I think we should maybe burn the couch before the playoffs.
It's such a good lying down couch. How dare you?
Are you watching a Leafs game on YouTube for all the playoffs?
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, and it's funny because I've been talking recently about like, I don't know if I'm going to get invited to any Leaf playoff games. And
You're
then I was
busy.
like, oh, wait, I won't be able to go.
Yeah.
I have to watch all of them from home.
That,
so,
that
like,
sucks that you won't be able to do. Like you hosted Maple Leaf Square before.
yeah,
Like those
Oh,
things
that was
are
cool.
out of the question. You can't go sit between the benches like how you've done before.
I think if the Leafs were to win a round, and I'm not saying this because I know anything, I'm just purely guessing. I think if the Leafs win a round, all bets are off and it's going to accelerate very fast. Like, I would not
Right.
be surprised if I got one of those booths a la Tim and Sid in Maple Leaf Square, and that's where I streamed from. I'm serious. I'm serious.
who's
If they made the final, I wouldn't be in my house. I
You're-
can almost guarantee I
you
wouldn't
should
be in
stream
my
it
house.
from the ice. They should just put you in the game. You know, you sit in the
What's
corner.
wrong with that?
You know, you're just on a
You're
laptop.
saying that tongue in cheek.
You know?
What's wrong with that? They should absolutely do that. Refs are kicking the puck to the players in the corner. Why can't I do that?
They should build a little bubble dome at center ice where you sit in there and
Yeah.
you stream the game
Bubble
from
dome.
there.
Just give me a helmet.
Drop it from the ceiling.
Yeah. You're
Right?
hang.
But you could be like the shark who got stuck. Remember the shark logo or the shark?
Yeah.
Not logo. Flipping the mascot. Which is still one of my funniest clips of
Dude.
my favorite clips of all
It's
time.
not even the craziest clip of him.
No,
He got set on fire.
That's right.
He set himself on fire.
Oh, that poor
I want to talk to that dude.
that mascot. Yeah,
Whoever's in that costume.
mascots aren't supposed to talk, but man,
Highly doubt it's the same person.
Both instances.
Both instances, I believe, was.
Yeah.
But they're probably not still doing it.
No. That's why I want to talk to him.
Oh,
He's done. You know, he's retired.
I want to talk to a retired mascot.
That's coming up on the next Steve Dangle
Okay,
podcast.
all right. So
We're talking retired mascots.
yeah, that's right. There's a good retired mascot roundtable.
This
Hot
dude,
stove.
this dude was Carlton.
And Al Strachan. Al Strachan's going to join us too.
What?
And he's just going to be grumpy and
I
shitty
don't
about
approve of mascots are fun.
it.
The old Carlton like graduated from being Carlton, and now he has like another position with the league.
I think Pete Blackburn said it best. And I'm going to paraphrase here, but he said...
I'm short, go Bruins.
No, he didn't.
Sorry, what'd he say?
He said, fuck Kyrie Irving a few
Did
times
he?
at the game. I know that.
Oh, wow.
I know he said that. He
That
tweeted
was,
that.
Rude. That's
I know. But Kyrie Irving gave him the finger back, both of them. So, but actually, he said if Vegas loses, if this is Vegas' season, this is the most hilarious way to go down. Vegas versus San Jose. Vegas has control of the game going into the final 7 minutes, and they just an offensive or defensively terrible mistake. Guy is wide open, puts the puck past Thompson, and they're tied. And then San Jose wins it in a shootout.
4-2, 2 minutes to go.
4-2. Oh, it was 2 minutes ago.
2 minutes ago.
Why did I write 7?
2 minutes ago, it's 4-2 Vegas. San Jose pulls the goalie. They score.
There it is.
No time left on the clock. 4-3. The puck crosses the line. It's a literal buzzer beater for San Jose to force OT. It was insane.
And then they won in the shootout.
And then they won because
So,
the OT's a
I mean,
toss-up.
listen, this is karma coming for the Golden Knights management.
Yeah, I feel bad for the players,
I do too.
but the man.
I feel bad for Jack Eichel most of all. He's not going to see the playoffs again. Maybe.
They do so many things well. Their presentation is unbelievable. Obviously, their fan relations unbelievable. It's an event. It's a destination event to go to a hockey game in Vegas. In terms of managing people, genuinely one of the dumbest organizations in the sport.
There is nothing wrong with being ruthless. But when you're ruthless, you do walk a line sometimes of being brainless. And I think in this particular case, the way they've treated certain players, the way they've lied to agents and lied to, and I'm not just talking about Allen, I'm talking about everybody, the way they've handled player exits. I think I've seen a few people say, every time the new shiny thing comes along, anytime the new prize, is it Pietrangelo this year? Is it Eichel this year? Who do we commit to long term that we can fire out the door? And I mean, listen, you get a team together that's aging. They are. All of them have significant injury history. All of them. And you have players like Nick Suzuki who are just coming into their own, who could have been coming up in your organization if you just left it. Just leave it alone. You guys made the Stanley Cup Finals.
Didn't they trade all of their 3 first-round picks from their first draft?
Brannstrom's in Ottawa.
Suzuki's in Montreal.
I forget who the third guy was.
Glass.
Tanner
Cody
Glass.
Cody Glass.
Cody Glass. No. Really?
Tanner Glass is that's like a tough guy from years ago.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Cody Glass.
Mr. Glass.
Are we doing the Robin Lehner situation?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
So 3 days ago, Emily Kaplan tweets that Robin Lehner is done. He's going to undergo season-ending surgery.
Geez.
He suffered, he last attempted to play through a major knee injury he suffered on March 8th. And then later that day, they go to Pete DeBoer and they ask him, hey, so Robin Lehner's done. Pete DeBoer says, it was a maintenance day today. I expect him at practice tomorrow and I expect him dressed on Sunday. So they're like, no, he's not done for the season. That report is false. Friedman on Saturday says there was 2 reports that Robin Lehner is out for the rest of the year and having surgery. I've heard the same rumors. Vegas has disputed that. Today, they said they were hopeful he'd be in the lineup tomorrow, which would be yesterday, Sunday. Nobody's talking, but this is the best I can piece together. What's happened is Lehner, who's playing hurt, was upset at some of the criticism and also being pulled the other night.
Because he got trashed in the media like a week ago by Pete DeBoer.
Yep.
He did?
He did.
I missed that. What happened?
I don't remember exactly what it was, but DeBoer threw him under the
Yeah,
bus.
because he
What
fucking
did
sucked.
Pete do?
and Pete DeBoer's like, yeah, the goalie let him back goals.
Yeah, he was basically like, we lost because of Robin Lehner.
Yeah.
Like, he might as well have said that.
Right.
Okay.
He might as well have said that.
So-
that's at least that's what I and everyone else took from it.
Back to Friedman on Saturday. Nobody's talking about this, but this is the best I can piece together. What's happened is Lehner, who's playing hurt, was upset at some of the criticism and also being pulled the other night. And I believe he informed the Golden Knights on Thursday night that he was going to have surgery and shut it down. In the last 24 to 48 hours, everybody involved was trying to see if there was a solution to all this that would have him in the lineup. I guess we're going to find out tomorrow night. And yesterday, he did not start, but he was the backup goalie, and he was sitting on the bench, and he was dressed.
In a must-win game.
I got to read. Okay.
Did you find it?
Well, I'm reading this from Yahoo Sports, and this is a DeBoer quote, but this is from 4 days ago on Thursday. And so they basically last Thursday, it was essentially a season-saving win against the Caps.
They're all season savers.
But there was a scathing review of Robin Lehner, according to this article, after the 3-2 loss to the New Jersey Devils. But here's the Pete DeBoer thing. This is where he says stuff, and I'm like, you don't need to say it that way.
No.
So here's what he said. The decision to start. We pay him to start games like this.
Yeah.
It's the most important time of the year. He's healthy. He's fresh. He's got the energy, and we need him at this point in the year.
No.
Yeah. So yeah.
None of those things are true. So continue.
After that New Jersey game, I felt like I wanted him to give us the opportunity to bounce back and have a big game for us. On the decision to change, I really liked our start. We gave up our first goal. Blah 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 blah. So you've got your coach last week saying he's healthy, he's fresh, and we're paying him to start. And now potentially he could be done.
He wasn't healthy through any of this. He's been dealing with this since March. And he told them he was going to have surgery and shut it down because he was so pissed at the way everything is going. And then they're like, no, don't do that. Don't have the surgery. And let's figure something out. And then he doesn't have the surgery. And then he's there Sunday.
This has only happened once that I can think of where a player, again, these guys are always playing through heinous shit. And the team alienated the player so badly that the player said, okay, you know what? Fuck you. I'm getting the surgery. Robin Lehner's former teammate, Evander Kane. The Winnipeg Jets alienated him on the way out the door, rightly or wrongly. We can't get into the whole long history of that. But he said, all right, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm just going to go get surgery. And then he did.
That was right after back to tracksuit.
Yeah, back on tracksuit. Back on tracksuit.
Yeah.
So Robin Lehner, he's playing through all this for the team. And it goes completely unappreciated by the team's head coach. So he's now the one with the sword through his back. And he said, all right, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm just going to get the surgery then. I'm in pain. This sucks. I want this to be done. And here's the thing about the ruthless reputation that the Vegas Golden Knights have is they, for their entire franchise's history, have been in a position to be ruthless. They're not right now. And I think they forgot that. I don't think they realize that. They're desperate. You put all your eggs in the Robin Lehner basket.
And he does get injured.
He does, yes, but you better make sure that dude has cucumber and rose petal flavored water. You better roll out the red carpet for him. He better be getting hand massages every time he's sitting there in the video room. You got to do everything for this guy because that's your team in net.
You traded away the reigning Vezina Trophy winner and said, this guy, we want him over that guy.
And you
could have had them both.
And you gave him Laurent Brossoit as a backup.
Yep.
You're lucky you've fallen ass backwards into Logan Thompson.
And then now, to Adam's quote, you're lying in the media saying he's healthy when we all know he's not healthy.
So here's what.
So of course Robin Lehner's fucking pissed.
So this is from Russian Machine. So they're so great, this site. They're so great.
So good.
DeBoer on Robin Lehner after New Jersey. This time of year, you're looking for a guy to be better than the guy at the other end. That wasn't the quote. That wasn't the case. Yeah. So I just.
That's a coach who's hot under the collar because he lost against his former team.
Well, you're the coach, though. Shut up.
Yeah. That's what led Lehner to go to management and be like, I'm going to have the surgery. And then Emily to tweet that he's going to go have surgery. And then for them to come back and be like, no, he's not having the surgery. He's still going to play.
That would piss me off, too. I would have the surgery.
Pete DeBoer might have just cost Vegas their season.
Well, and so here's the question, right? Because they were so... Marc-Andre Fleury, despite everything Vegas wanted last year, was successful for them, and he won the Vezina Trophy. Despite their protestations, they had a Vezina winning goalie. My God.
And he only took them 3 rounds deep.
When was the last time a Vezina Trophy happened in Toronto? Ever. We'd have a statue built outside for Marc-Andre Fleury right now.
We have literally built a statue for the last Vezina Trophy.
So, yeah, and there was
Johnny Bauer and Terry Sawchuk split it.
In 66?
7?
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
They have one. They have both goalies. And here's what they could have done last year. They could have just fucking left it. You could have had Marc-Andre Fleury for one more year, who, by the way, is 8-1 since being traded to Minnesota. 8-1. You could have had Marc-Andre Fleury and Robin Lehner. One of them goes down with an injury. You got the other one. And you got a really good team. You still have Mark Stone. You still have Max Pacioretty. You still have Pietrangelo. Did you need an update over Chandler Stevenson at center? Sure. Did it need to be Jack Eichel? No, it didn't.
No, it really didn't.
And I'm not saying that was a mistake. Like, Jack Eichel could still be great for them. He's not gotten into it as the typical Jack Eichel this year.
Cody Glass, by the way, is in Nashville.
Cody Glass is
involved in that deal. So they had 3 first-round picks in their first draft and got rid of all of them.
So what I'm trying to get at here is like, again, it goes back to being ruthless or brainless. At a certain point, you're just being stupid about this. I understand wanting to get the best player available in the market, but when you do it the way the Golden Knights do it, you pay a higher price than you would if you just waited and developed people. And number 2, you had a good team anyway. You know, like that first year Golden Knights team, I can understand how they surprised some people. Last year, with Marc-Andre Fleury and Robin Lehner, it surprised everybody when they stopped scoring in the third round. It shocked everybody that Montreal beat them.
It was
so just
awful hockey to watch. Like, I streamed that whole series. Awful hockey. They played awful hockey. Like, it was surprising that Montreal was winning until you watched.
Yeah.
And you're like, this team sucks.
So what's crazy about this, though, with Vegas is next year they could come roaring back.
Absolutely.
All the pieces are still there. They're all injured, but they're still there.
They have a summer to be away from a management group that seems genuinely taxing.
Also, question, though, can they even play all the players that they have next year?
No, I don't think so.
Like, they're going to have to drop some talent. Mm-hmm. Like, I know they tried to trade Dodonov. I think they're going to have to.
Oh, yeah. More guys pitched out the door. Oh, fuck. Dodonov's still playing.
Yeah, and scoring.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
With the Fleury-Lehner situation, I think their argument would be it worked for that year, but they couldn't figure out the cap going forward, spending, because it's a $7 million cap hit for Marc-Andre Fleury that's been 50%ed now to 3.5 for Minnesota, and that's $5 million for Robin Lehner.
It's a lot of money
through
to go
2025.
But they didn't have to make the commitment to Robin Lehner.
Right.
They went out and got him while Marc-Andre Fleury was very clearly the guy, and then they made a long-term commitment to him as very clearly the heir apparent to the starting net.
And they didn't expect Fleury to play like that.
Oh, man. I'm sorry that happened to Vegas. I'm really sorry that happened to them. That the goalie who they had committed to the least won the Vezina trophy.
Just
what
happened
are you
to
doing?
be the Vezina winner.
I know.
You're talking about a team that does not know how to count their blessings at all.
That's so true.
At all.
Dallas and Vegas are fighting it out for the last wild card spot. There's 3 games left, and there's a 3-point separation. So from what I looked at this morning,
Dallas and Vegas have been going after you.
Dallas will have to lose basically all 3 games for this to happen.
Could happen.
And here's the interesting thing. Oh, wait. Is that even updated? Because I think they might only have 2 games left. Let's have a look here. So
it should be updated by today.
Okay. I don't think it's updated right now.
Oh.
No, it is. Okay, so so the Golden Knights and Stars play each other.
Sorry.
Golden Knights and Stars play each other tomorrow. But I want you to pay attention to this because their last 2 games are really interesting. They play each other, and after tomorrow night's game, which will decide a lot, the schedule for the Golden Knights is Chicago on Wednesday, but it's second half of a back-to-back. They should still be able to squeak that out. But second half of a back-to-back, and then Friday against the very good St. Louis Blues, who may not want to start all their stars.
Oh, see, I think the game I'm more worried about is Chicago.
Why is that?
Because they have been so goddamn bad. They've been so bad. And if you're Chicago, you're like, this season stinks. But the only thing in the way of
it's stinking
me
forever
and the beach is one last game. Well, I don't know if it's their last game, but this game I can completely railroad a team's entire season.
That would feel good.
And these
Dallas
guys
schedule?
eliminated us. These guys eliminated us in the bubble.
Yes.
Guys, let's get them.
Okay.
Let's get them.
Like I said, Knights have Dallas tomorrow, Wednesday Chicago, Friday Blues. For Dallas, and this is why I think they got to win tomorrow night, because then I think it's over. Dallas, they'd have to lose. And then Wednesday, they've got Arizona on the second half of a back-to-back.
Who have been poo.
Who've been super pooey. And then Friday, I wrote down, for some reason, when I made my notes, I wrote Dallas is playing Dallas because I'm an idiot. They're playing Anaheim.
Oh, okay. Anaheim, who's been
at
playing
home,
well.
though.
Yeah.
Anaheim, who's been better at home.
Actually, Anaheim's not been playing that well.
Well, they're better.
They're
they're
plucky.
better. They're better than the Coyotes. Here's the thing.
Has Arizona won this month?
They had a good comeback the other night, that ended in a loss, but
Yeah.
it was a good comeback. They were down 4-1. Boko Imama got his first goal to make it 4-2. They come back, and I think they lost in the shootout.
Yeah.
Which that's not a loss.
I don't think they have a regulation win in April.
Dude, both the Coyotes and Habs were playing so well. The Habs are disgraceful, and on the ice anyway, and Arizona, they've both been so bad.
So bad.
They've both been so bad.
I just think it's going to be hilarious to see this Vegas Dallas game tomorrow. Is that I can't miss.
It's like a wild card game almost.
That's exactly what it is. It's amazing.
I mean, literally, I suppose.
If Dallas wins, it's over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Season's over for Vegas, yeah.
And speaking of Anaheim, Ryan Getzlaf played his last game for the Ducks last night and even got an assist.
If Robin Lehner doesn't play that game against Dallas, I think it might be over. Might be over for him.
In Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to do? Punt another goalie out the door? Man, Robin Lehner...
why are you acting like that's weird? It's Vegas.
If Robin Lehner comes up, honestly, the least... Imagine because Campbell has spent some money this year. If you went off what Jack Campbell... If you had signed Jack Campbell to an extension in November versus what it would be now, it's millions of dollars apart. Millions. If you could somehow fit a Campbell-Lehner duo, because both of them get injured, and you split it down the middle. 41 and 41, boys. Load management. Come on.
There's too much money.
You think?
They can't do the $5 million.
Couldn't they do it because they get Lehner at 5? Could you not do Campbell at 3.5?
Even that's $8.5 million.
The
Leafs don't have that luxury.
The terrible precedent that Vegas management has set with ownership is the cap doesn't matter. We'll find a way around it. And if they blow it this season and everyone's, basically neck is on the line, management is going to say, I don't give a shit, find a way.
That owner wants a cup too. And I appreciate
Which is
that.
fine.
I love that.
It's great. The way they have gone about it is unsmart.
I'm going to tell you who the next goalie of the Vegas Golden Knights is.
Tell us.
If Robin Lehner decides, hey, fuck these guys and my surgery.
Like they did it to 2 starting goalies in a row. It just fucking blows my mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Peter Mrazek.
Go.
Do you have a guess?
Peter Mrazek.
Carey Price.
No.
Oh, no. Come on. No way.
No.
Carey
way.
Price does not want to sit through the rebuild in Montreal. Vegas sees new shiny thing with a big name. Don't care about the price.
Too much money.
Hey.
There you
Hey, I see what you said.
go. We're going to do it. Tell me it doesn't make sense.
I mean, I don't know how that makes sense cap-wise. I don't know how they make that trade.
The cap doesn't matter for Vegas.
I know it doesn't,
They'll
but
figure it
it
out.
does sort of somewhat matter.
Not really.
Dodonov to the Habs.
That actually might work.
We're figuring it out.
So are the Habs retaining 50% for the last 5-6 years of his contract?
Maybe not
Weber's going to be
50.
involved somehow.
Oh, there's the LTIR space. That's literally
And then
right
Shea
there.
Weber makes his return game 1 of the
No.
playoffs next season. That's Shea Weber's music. And then he's out as the Golden Knights? Come on.
Shea Weber and Carey Price become Vegas Golden Knights, and you figure it out.
Man, I'm Carey Price. I get to control where I go. I'm definitely not going to an organization that treats players and most specifically goalies like shit. Okay, I'm a god in Montreal, or I could go to Vegas where I'm some asshole.
Carey Price is a pretty quiet guy. He may want that.
Mhm.
I don't know.
No, I don't mean with fans.
Oh, no, of course not.
No,
with
the fans are hardcore and
They're
there's
intense.
lots of tourism. No, I mean the way the organization treats you. You're a literal deity or some asshole. Yeah, I allowed 4 goals last night because my injured knee has been bugging me. Oh, well, what if you fucking stop them instead?
Maybe the problem here is Pete DeBoer. Maybe it's not even anything else but Pete DeBoer running his mouth.
And Kelly McCrimmon.
And probably the GM.
I mean, listen, you had Gerard Gallant, who took you to the Stanley Cup Finals, and you're like, sorry, Gerard, fuck off. Sorry,
shit
get
runs
out.
downhill.
They do it to everybody. Yeah. Everybody.
What is shit runs downhill?
Yeah, you've never heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard it. It's disgusting.
It does, man. It does. Like
Yeah.
how do you
McCrimmon shitting?
Yeah, no, that's not. Man, I didn't want to leave you with the visual of him. Anyway,
And it's run downhill?
it's just It runs more like it trickles downhill.
And it's like
Anyway,
a slide.
I don't know. Like looking at the Vegas Golden Knights when the season began, how do you fuck that up?
Mhm.
And they did.
Injuries,
How?
one. But
on.
two, bad management.
They had a trade that didn't go through because they didn't know the man's contract.
That's the bad management part. And
No,
they
it's
had
not their fault.
They had to make that trade because of the injuries, but they're also not great at doing things.
You traded the Vezina winner without telling him, and it wasn't even the most embarrassing thing you did in a calendar year. Like, dude, that's terrible. You traded the Vezina winner without telling him for no one.
Yep.
And it wasn't the most embarrassing thing you did in a calendar year. Retire. Oh my God. Sorry. Like everything is higher stakes for the Vegas Golden Knights because of where the expectations were. So the bigger the mistake, the more it should probably cost you your gig.
You are the owner of an NHL franchise.
I'm
You
not.
have to choose between Kelly McCrimmon and Chuck Fletcher to GM your team.
Kelly McCrimmon. All day. All day. At least I know Kelly McCrimmon can get rid of contracts.
Yeah.
Chuck cannot do that.
At least Kelly McCrimmon is silly with a good team.
Yeah, he's silly and he's won. Chuck Fletcher just was like, I'm gonna put together a perennial first and out team, and then I'm gonna go to the Flyers and spend all the owner's money.
That's
That's his career.
That's
man.
rich coming from Leaf fans. Hey, like, my book is not called "This is Wonderful" and my team is successful.
Yeah.
It's called "This team is ruining my life."
I want to talk about the Calgary Flames for just a second here. This is a team that could very, very, and we're one goal away from this. They have 3 players with 40 goals.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
And they could have a fourth if Mangiapane somehow manages 5 goals in the next 3 games.
Why
Which
is
he's
everybody?
done.
He's done it.
Why is everybody telling me Johnny Gaudreau's not the Hart Trophy winner? Huh? Why are people saying that?
Because he's not.
Because obviously everyone scores 40 on that team. It's not even special.
No, I mean, they are special.
Who's
It's
got
Matthews.
58 in the Leafs? No,
I have to stick with Matthews. I'm sorry. But
Yeah.
you know Flames fans.
If
You
Matthews
understand.
doesn't hit 60 and he doesn't produce anything these next 2 games, like
What about?
where's he
Wow,
sitting?
where does it?
That's
Haters
interesting.
corner over here.
Where's he sitting for the Hart Trophy? Not first.
Whoa.
Front row at the NHL Awards. That's where he's sitting. What's wrong? Why don't we have a best line award?
That would be a great idea.
Because, like, listen, if we're
The
talking,
Legion of Doom Award.
ooh.
Because that's the best line name in the history of the NHL.
I was about to say it's certainly not the best line, but was maybe the best line name. Legion of Doom. I do like it.
Who would you say is the best line in NHL history then?
Not the line that never won the cup.
They're pretty close.
They certainly.
I mean, they were 4 and out, but they were close.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. If there was a best line award, it would certainly be the Flames top line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know.
And last year and the year before it would have been Marchand, Bergeron, and Pasternak.
Oh yeah, they would have been perennially. Yeah, Bergeron knows he's slam dunk getting nominated for at least 2 awards every year. If yeah, I'm gonna be in for the Selke and best line for like 5 straight years. Like, just a.
And if we make to the
bizarre
finals,
career.
Conn Smythe.
Oh my God, please retire. I'm begging you. This friggin' guy.
No, you know what's
Please
crazy?
retire. I'm
It
begging
could be
you.
Boston, Carolina, and Carolina with no goaltending in the first round. And if the Leafs, even if the Leafs get through, it could still be Boston. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh my God.
Throwing that out there, Leaf
I
fans.
hate you so much.
Sorry, go ahead.
Stop.
I just thought it was interesting. Elias Lindholm hit 40 goals. He's got 40 assists, 80 points. His other 2 line mates are way ahead of him, though. Johnny Gaudreau's got 110 or 111 points. Matthew Tkachuk got 101 points. That is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
300 points, essentially, Because Gaudreau is probably going to get up a few more. And they're essentially going to get 300 points from 3 players. Think about that.
That's like combined plus minus. Let's
That's
do
crazy.
What's their combined? Plus
Who knows? But like, think about, okay, or look at it this way. You get 120 goals from 3 players.
Yeah, that's not bad, eh?
Well, all things considered, let's look at the league for a second, okay? Let's put this into
The
context.
Coyotes, I know for a fact, have less than 200 goals.
They do. They have 193.
What? Okay, they have 193.
Yeah.
So what's that line plus Mangiapane?
It's 100 right now. Let's round it up.
It's
So
like
it's 120,
160?
155. Yeah. So the Calgary Flames top 4 players, 155. They are almost. They're another Mangiapane short of being equal to Arizona.
Holy shit!
They're Mitch Marner short or part of Austin Matthews' season. It's crazy.
Mitch Marner goal suck. Hey, that's been great. Anyway, sorry, we're talking about the Flames. I know Flames fans are going to kill us for that.
I just want to throw out Johnny Gaudreau's 5-on-5 numbers
Yep.
into his Hart Trophy discussion.
Okay.
Yep.
He leads the entire world on 5-on-5 points with 70. If the NHL site could load for freaking 2 seconds,
No,
I could tell
can't.
you.
Can't.
Wow, are you watching this spinning wheel with
I
me?
am. It's
oh my
driving
god,
me crazy.
They can't.
He's got 75-on-5 points. Next up is Austin Matthews with 65.
Man, he's got a 5-point lead.
The 5-on-5 assist numbers, we are spinning Wheel of Death
What
again.
is going on?
The NHL. Okay, here we go. 37 primary 5-on-5 assists. Next up, Kirill Kaprizov with 25.
Wow.
That's wild.
He's generating all the goals for that line.
Man, Chuck Fletcher's going to pay so much money for him this summer. Like, he's going to make so much money off of Chuck Fletcher. It's crazy.
No, I think he's going to be the bridesmaid to a lot of free agents. I think
What?
Chuck Fletcher.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think he's going to be able to get people?
No,
I think you said Johnny Gaudreau was going to be the...
No.
Can I finish with my Johnny Gaudreau?
Oh, sorry.
thoughts?
Yeah, sorry.
111 points on the season. That is 7 back of McDavid, who leads the world in 118. It's more than Austin Matthews.
Like the most silent, dominant season ever.
Insane.
And then assists, he's 72, which is back of the leader, Jonathan Huberdeau, who has 85.
Which is insane. That's a crazy number, too.
Also
Yeah.
wild.
I didn't... I'm looking at goals for and goals against. The differential... Arizona's obviously got the worst one, okay?
Yeah.
Jesse, don't look at this.
Don't have it in front of me.
Okay. Arizona's got the worst one. Their differential is minus 110. Now, I don't know what the ranking is for worst goal differentials all time, but that's got to be up there.
We've talked about this before, and it's like a billion.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not even close.
Yeah.
It was the
Yeah.
Capitals probably in like 72.
I think
It's
so.
the 8-win Capitals.
I would love to know in the last 15 years what it is. You know what I mean? Because that's a little bit more comparable to today, I think.
I feel like we've talked about
But
this.
maybe we have.
They
Maybe
got
we
to
have,
be
but
in the neighborhood.
they have to be. Who is the second worst goal differential?
The
The widest margin between goals for and goals against to the negative.
The obvious answer appears to be Montreal. So I'm going to say Montreal because like they lost a bunch of games
Mhm.
for a stretch and got killed in all of them. So
I'm going to
gonna
say
Montreal.
the Chicago Blackhawks.
Jesse, the Chicago Blackhawks are 27th with a negative 74. Not good. But the Montreal Canadiens, Steve, you were right, are the only other team over 100 goal differential, 107. And you know what's crazy is that like when Martin St. Louis came in, they won a couple of games and everybody's like, well, we're okay. Next season. They
I
are
did.
1-9-0 in their
Man.
last 10.
That's tough.
This team sucks.
Yeah.
I don't care that that you lost the season in the first month of this year and Dom Ducharme wasn't a great man. This team sucks. Bergevin really left you guys holding the bag, man. Wow.
Left them holding the bag.
Holding the bag, like holding the bag full of poo. And by the way, their winning percentage, their points percentage is the
That
worst
is
in the
not
league.
what I thought that meant.
Points percentage is the worst in the league.
Oh, yeah?
319.
The tank battle is like
Number 1 draft
scorching
pick.
hot.
You know the number 1 draft pick's going to Seattle. So stop it with this right now. It's going to
No.
Seattle. They're in Montreal. It's going to Seattle. Can you imagine when that happens? Like you're going to be in Montreal. Montreal could get the first overall pick and they don't get it. Imagine.
I'm battling between. Okay, hear me out on this.
All right.
Hear me out on this. Scouting staffs have to do a staggering amount of research anyway.
Yes.
They all have a ranked list anyway.
Yeah.
What is wrong with doing the draft lottery in person at the draft?
Oh, I'm so with you.
Because
That would be so sick.
Can you imagine being in Montreal
And hearing the crowd?
and the ping pong ball comes up, and with the first overall pick, the Montreal Canadiens, and the first overall pick goes to the Montreal Canadiens. Roof blows off of the place, and then I don't know how long do you give?
Man.
How long do you get? You know what I think? I think you don't do the pick right away. You allow everyone to go to concessions for beer. Give them half an hour for that, and then they come back and they get to watch Shane Wright get picked first overall in person.
Never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen.
It would be
Boy,
so
would
sick.
I like it.
They'd be mad about it, I think, though. Like teams would be mad about it, though, I think, because it's a... like, they would say, we don't have enough time to prepare.
Yeah, and
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I know it's bullshit.
Bullshit.
you got to give them time to trade the picks as well.
Oh, that's true.
'Cause
Fine.
You got to give them the month to, hey, I know we're sitting at the 10th slot. We want to trade our 10th pick. Or I know I'm sitting at the 5th slot. Now I can trade the 5th.
Damn it, you're
fifth
right.
pick, you know? Also, the NHL would never give up the second TV date that they have for the lottery balls. You know, like in May, they're going to have a lottery show on Sportsnet. You know, and then you get the draft show. They would never combine that and give up the advertising dollars for the lottery show. Never going to happen.
I would love the drama of, well, what about the next day? Or sorry, the day before. So it's a 3-day event. You can get tickets to the draft lottery.
GMs wouldn't go for it.
Oh, fuck, it'd be cool, though.
It would.
Oh, man.
It'd be cool. I understand why, but man, that'd be cool.
Yeah, the Calgary Flames deserve every bit of credit that they haven't been given. I know Flames fans are like, we're underreported, and you are. You're absolutely right. This team has been spectacular. They've been the team that we were hoping they were going to be the last 2 years.
Yep.
I feel like you say that, and then I say, hey, the Flames are my pick for the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but it's like,
That's like,
we're saying it, but I feel like there's not a lot of fanfare.
and I don't think there's a lot of reporting on it unless you're like reading Erik Francis, and I mean that. Like,
Well,
like,
and he's a Calgary reporter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like, I feel like nationally, I think Flames fans have a point when they're like, no one's talking about us.
Well, and the Oilers have been very good. And
Yeah, but they've also been very bad. So you can see
they've been more very good than bad.
the dichotomy of the Oilers this year, I think, as a fan, even as a fan of the Oilers, can give you some pause. Because they were amazing, and then they were dog shit, and then they fired their coach, and they were good. We've seen amazing, we've seen dog shit, and we've seen good.
And right now, Mike Smith's on a heater.
Yeah.
Like, he's been unreal.
Which he does.
Gravedigger. That's what they need. They need to call him that, literally. He's just rising up from the ground.
The Undertaker?
Yeah.
No, it's
Mike Smith comes-
Halo. He's doing Halo.
no, I'm doing the monster truck. Gravedigger, the monster truck.
Isn't that a thing from Halo?
What?
Halo Online?
I don't know, man. Gravedigger was the truck.
Yeah, the one at the Rogers Center whenever
Yeah.
they have the Monster Truck
Yeah,
rallies at the
Monster
Rogers
Jam was in
Center.
town
Yeah.
this past weekend. Have you never been to Monster Jam?
No.
Oh, it's so great because all the trucks basically just break down and it's kind of a letdown. That literally, when I went to Monster Jam, I think I was like 12, and my parents got free tickets, and we went.
This
and
sucks.
it was at the Skydome, and like the only truck that was still running after all of it was Gravedigger.
Yeah,
And that's the
going,
famous Gravedigger.
He's been going for 40 years.
Yeah, 40. And the guy is like literally, they're duct taping him in at this point. Like he's old. Still driving that stupid truck and doing flips. Like it smells like petroleum.
That's got to be like top 5 worst events that's still going. That seems like
Monster
it's never
trucks?
going to have an end. Monster trucks.
In a closed arena?
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking like specifically the Rogers Center monster truck rally.
And this is pre-renovations Rogers Center.
Oh, yeah.
Closed
When the
arena.
Jays sucked, like end of Delgado years, Rogers or Skydome, just terrible. Like, ugh. Yeah, it was bad.
What's the thing that happens at Rico every year and the Marlies have to go on a 14-game road
Oh,
trip?
the Royal Canadian Winter Fair, or is it the tattoo, or what do they call
No,
it?
they like flood the
boat show.
There's two
Boat
awful
show.
Oh, the
things.
boat show.
There's the
Yo,
boat show.
Don't fuck with the boat show.
And the
fucking-
horse show.
Yeah, okay, the horse show
too.
The boat show rules, and I have wakeboarded.
The boat show is decent.
I have wakeboarded on the Rico Coliseum water.
Actually?
for BT.
Yeah, because
So you're the dick who sends them on the road for a month every year.
yeah. So when I was doing BT, they were like, and the fucking water's freezing. So like, get the wetsuit on.
It's a bad idea. That's what I'm trying to get at.
And so there's that wire, and I did it with the
It's
microphone.
just melted ice, by the way.
Were you?
They don't bring in new water.
What were you wearing? Do they have you in swim trunks?
So they said, bring your swim shorts, and then they put you in a wetsuit. And of course, the wetsuit's already wet, right? So you're getting into the wetsuit, and you're like, I don't know what the fucking point is this is, but I on camera, I prefer not to have my belly hanging out. So yeah, I did it, and it was fun. Like, it was super fun, but it's it's 5:30, and you show up, and you have your suit-ish thing on. You know, you can wear jeans, but you got your nice stuff on.
5:30 in the morning?
Yeah, and then you take that shit off, and then it's like, and then you gotta get your boat show stuff ready to go. Like, you get your paperwork, whatever, and you're talking to the boat show PR people, and they're amped up on coffee. They're like, okay, so here's what we got. This year, over 40,000 exhibits. We got this many things. There's sales. There's this, there's that. And you're like, okay, like, I'm ready. And then they're like, all right, now take your clothes off. Let's go. Get in the water. and 6:40 segment, and then Kevin Frankish throws to me, and he's like, there's Adam, and he's going to jump in the water.
Oh, you did this on TV?
Yeah. I was like, all right, Kevin. Yeah.
Why did you do this?
BT.
Oh, my
Breakfast
God.
television. Yeah. Yeah. So
It's just such a bad idea.
it's a great idea.
No,
It
but,
is fun. It's
like,
fun.
It's a hockey rink that they just put a pool in the middle of.
Yeah, well, you know what? The Marlies still won the championship that year.
The boat that's pulling you, was it a ski-doo or was
No, it's a cable. There's no boat.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say, how the frick?
I thought they threw the sea-doo
No.
on the hockey rink.
You
pool.
need way more water
That's
than
what
that.
I'm saying.
No, they have.
Just ripping.
You're just constantly taking a left.
You're doing a 10-foot lap.
Yes,
You slam into the boards.
Literal-
They leave the boards in.
it's
You're doing
literal
face-off dodge.
wakeboard NASCAR.
Yeah.
But no, but that's most like, if you ever
Jesus.
watch like those wakeboarding highlight videos or whatever, I'm sure you guys watch plenty of those.
No.
They have a suspended cable in like Florida, and then you just do the cable ride rather than a boat. Because
I've done cable wakeboarding.
have you? I've heard it's a lot of fun. Plus,
Yeah,
cables
it's
up
more
high.
fun when you're good at it.
Cables up high, so when you're doing jumps, you can do crazier shit and whatever. So it's the same sort of idea. Anyway, boat show. How did we
found
get
it
here?
Easier.
If you're not if you're not under the age of 12, you shouldn't be going to a monster truck rally.
All right.
I think that's the conclusion.
Hey guys, question for you. Kid Rock played a show this weekend. This is trivia.
Okay.
Okay.
Did Kid Rock play Monster Jam? Or did he play Paulina Gretzky and Dustin Johnson's wedding? Where did Kid Rock play a show? Did he play Monster Jam?
Why are we talking
Or did he
about
play
Kid
Dustin
Rock?
Johnson and Paulina
Why are we
Gretzky's
talking
wedding?
about Kid Rock playing
I'm
Paulina
just asking,
Gretzky's
which
wedding?
one did he play?
I'm sure maybe they're fans of Kid Rock. I don't know.
Hey,
I'm trying to
I just
excuse
asked
them.
the question.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Kid Rock's a known, he has racist tendencies. And it's a shame that Dustin Johnson and Paulina Gretzky would hire him.
I'm just saying. But
There's a man who defends using the Confederate flag.
Yes.
I was
who,
gonna
by the
make
way,
some
is
jokes.
from Michigan.
Yeah.
From a rich family.
Yeah.
I was
going to
make some jokes, but I think Jesse said the right thing.
Yeah.
Which is, fuck Kid Rock. Like, kind of a lot.
Yeah. He also got to apparently drop the middle finger a few times. It was good. So, I
mean,
just thought
Kid
that was
Rock.
sort of funny, right? Like,
That's the least
if I said to you
harmful
last
thing he
week,
does.
what do you think? Is he going to be at a Gretzky event, or do you think he's going to do Monster Jam? You'd have said Monster Jam.
No, Monster Jam can't afford that.
Oh, you're right. They can't afford to keep the trucks ready. No, I'm kidding. That's not fair.
I don't know why
Just I went to a bad Monster Jam, I think.
It was off the rails.
I went to Disney on Ice in Oshawa.
Did you?
Yeah.
Disney on Ice, I will defend. That is a cool event.
Is it?
It is.
Is it actually?
I like Disney on Ice.
No.
Yep.
I'm-
Unless you're under the age of 12, you probably shouldn't be there. But if you're under the age of 12, Disney was on Ice. I remember being very fun.
What if you have
Monster Truck sucked?
a Disney wife who likes Disney things?
Yeah. Did you go? Is that why you went?
That's
This
fair.
was years ago, and it was a bunch of parents with children and my wife.
Really?
Yeah, just watching, Mickey do like a.
Did she have a good
awkward
time?
Axel. She did.
Okay.
Well, that's what matters.
Why we went.
There was a time when we used to party, which we don't anymore. But when we used to party at Stephen S.L.'s house, I knew once we reached the point in the night where her and her friends were singing Disney tunes, it was time for me to leave. I was like, now after this, I'm too drunk now. I must leave. And that's what I did. Or I would just sneak up to one of your bedrooms and fall asleep.
You would do that.
One of the two.
You would do that. It's, oh boy. How do I handle this?
What do you mean?
I'm glad my house has more than one floor.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. The beer fridge used to be right next to where they would sing.
This sounds horrible. I think it would be sort of fun to go to like a kid's concert because kids don't have any inhibitions, so they lose their fucking minds. If you've ever seen like live Wiggles footage, the kids are just shaking like they're having a seizure. Yeah. Like you would literally have to escort them out of the club if they were adults. The way they shake and move.
Sir.
Yeah,
sir,
right?
Sir.
And so I've always wondered what Everly would be like at a Wiggle show, but because of the pandemic, I haven't had the chance to find out. And I almost wonder if that's been a favor to me or if that's an opportunity that, like, if the Wiggles came to town, I would for sure take her. Even though I think she's a little beyond them, I still would want to go. But am I signing myself up for a gigantic headache? Like, as a parent, do you really want to be at one of those shows like Disney on Ice, like the Wiggles? Well, I don't know who else. Is there Sesame Street Live? I don't know.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be.
My mom used to take me to Sharon, Lois, and Bram.
They almost for sure don't do this, but I would like to go to a live taping of Elmo's Not Very Late show.
Is that a thing?
Yes, it is.
No way.
He has a late night talk show that's not very late called The Not So Late Show or something like that. It's either The Not Very Late Show or Not So Late Show.
Really?
And he has like, oh yeah,
Emma's going to invite on our next guest, Ellie Goulding.
and then it's friggin' Ellie Goulding who walks out.
Wow.
Emma wants to know how you started singing.
And like he just interviews like one of the most famous artists in the world.
Have you seen the clips of him getting mad at the other person on Sesame Street that has a pet rock? Zoe, who's got a pet rock. Yeah, it's like it's not real.
It's not a person, Zoe.
Yeah.
It's a rock.
Jesse, I'm assuming you haven't seen that.
No.
Okay, well, you're missing out.
The Late Show for Elmo. That's a very cute idea.
I would go to that.
That's an awesome.
I would go to that.
Would they have like a Paw Patrol live? Like, you know where all the stuffed animals, they just get together at like the mall. It'd be like, oh, it's Square One today. You're gonna meet Paw Patrol and just a bunch of guys in mascot costumes. Would Everly freak out at something like that? Would Leo freak out at that?
But most of
Man,
the kids
that's a good
just
question.
going, "That's not Paw Patrol."
They do look at them like, that's not how I remember
That's not
it.
the TV.
They're smarter than we think.
They know.
Are you having a good time? I think less of you. You're not doing it. It's going to take years to build back trust.
I remember going to those things as a kid. Like, I met Barney once. My sister was like a huge Barney girl when she was little. And like we went to the mall and we met Barney.
Do you remember Kiddio?
No.
It was like a kids band. There was a green guy and a blue guy and a red guy.
I don't remember that.
No.
I went to a Kiddio show.
Nice.
Fun. Yeah, they had like music videos. Go look up Kiddio. It's cool and terrifying. All at the same.
Let's do the press conference. Should I read what it says?
Okay.
Should I read what it says?
I'm worried.
Balls.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath and I noticed I have beautiful balls thanks to Manscaped. That's what the script says.
You have to do it to song.
Do you take baths?
I don't take baths. I never do.
However, like most 34-year-old men.
However, I did use my Manscaped on my chest this weekend and it brought it down considerably. Believe it or not, that's less. That's less than I normally have. If you're watching the video, you'll see.
What about everybody listening?
Your skin, your hair, your armpits. You'll just
describe
guess.
your hair.
It's
describe how coarse it is.
So it's coarse and it's like a forest. But Manscaped trims right through it.
Steel wool chest.
Use the promo code DANGLE. 20% off and free shipping with the code. And basically, it's good for everything. Not only
your chest is more than 20% off right now.
You're right. It's like an 80% off deal right here. And you know what? It's kind of cool too. When you trim your chest down, you can feel it like a little bit more, and it's like, ooh, I can feel my. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a bit tingly on your
really.
chest.
Go on.
I like it.
Word? Yeah.
All I'm saying is that
move on.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code DANGLE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off, free shipping, promo code DANGLE at manscaped.com. It's time to get wet and clean on your chest and balls with Manscaped shower routine.
Shave around your nipples.
Have we told you about Athletic Greens? If you're looking for better gut health, more energy, stronger immune system, really easy and natural way to do it, and that is Athletic Greens. And I'm sure you'll agree, not all of us are a huge fan of taking pills or vitamins in the morning. Do you guys take your pills and vitamins every morning?
When I remember.
Which is when? How many times?
Seldom.
Jesse, do you take your pills and vitamins?
No, I use Athletic Greens.
There it is.
Oh.
Athletic Greens.
Well, I got to get on board.
It'll help you get the extra vitamins that you actually need, and some of the stuff that just isn't in your cabinet and not easy to find. And by the way, it tastes good. It goes with any diet: keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, whatever it is you are. And there is less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemical or artificial anything, and it still tastes good. That's the key, right? Everybody wants to know, does it actually taste good, or does it taste like something that cleans my toilet? It tastes good, okay? So right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with a convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into flu and cold season, because here we are back in flu and cold season.
Perennial.
Isn't that great?
Heading into life.
Just go to athleticgreens.com. We will give you 1 free year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. athleticgreens.com/STP. That's athleticgreens.com/STP. Take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Oh, hold on. Remix. Here's the extra.
Oh, God.
What's happening?
This is terrible.
What's happening? All right.
That was the worst experience of any of our lives.
Yeah, but nobody listening. Should I keep that in?
Yes.
Or because I'm just going to insert
No, you got to keep that in.
Noise.
No, you sound that.
Keep that all in.
All of it. All of
Press
it.
the wrong button.
I think people need to know.
Okay.
People
need
need
to
to
know
be
what you
aware.
did.
Yeah.
You need to answer for your crimes.
Hashtag Jesse fucked up.
I also fucked up last week. I've been keeping this from you guys, but I got our network in trouble.
What?
We need to discuss it on the show.
What do we?
I got us into international trouble.
What?
Through one of my tweets. So
What?
I'm gonna play you something from 97.5 The Fanatic in Philadelphia.
Oh shit. Okay.
What? Well, I'm sure.
Like typical Philadelphians, they'll be completely rational about it.
So I haven't told you about this, but we got brought up in Philadelphia.
Oh no.
Because the other day the Raptors were playing the 76ers. They're in the postseason right now.
Okay.
It was game 3.
Oh no.
You know, the intense one that came down to the wire, and Embiid broke our hearts with a last-second shot.
Which, revenge for the Kawhi bounce shot, am I right?
I don't know how that's the same.
It's the same.
Totally
No,
the
it's
same,
exactly
and
the same.
they're going to go on to win the NBA championship because that's how it's going to happen.
I mean,
It's
they
gonna be
might.
the exact same.
And it'll be one of the more memorable shots of the run, but it's still not the fucking same.
It's not the same at all. So this is the Anthony Gargano show on 97.5 The Fanatic
What up,
in
Anthony?
Philadelphia. And there's 2 parts here. This is the first video that we have. I'm going to play it for you, and then we can get into a little bit more of what's happening. So here, let me just fix the screen, make sure everybody can hear
Of
everything.
all it's something that we said with the Raptors?
I know, man. What?
Something I did with the Raptors. Okay, here we go.
What did
Here
you
we
do?
go. Here we go.
All right, Anthony.
Into this.
No, what now? What are they crying
There
about now?
are reporters. This one guy, Tim McAuliffe, who does stuff for Sportsnet up there, and some guy named Jesse Blake, who he's the CEO of some sports network that I've never heard of. They are complaining that the refs. I'll read Jesse Blake's tweet for you.
Wait. They're complaining about the refs?
Yes. This is Jesse
What?
Blake's tweet, word for word. Refs didn't have the balls to call a tech on Doc Rivers. You can't do this. They are complaining about Doc Rivers crossing half court to call a timeout before the final shot
Oh my
in
God!
overtime.
No.
It was so loud in there. Doc was trying to call a timeout. The ref just couldn't hear, so he had to
my
desperately
God.
run over. And they quoted the rule book because you can't pass the line or blah, blah, blah. But fortunately, that Tim dude did have the balls to follow up and say, my bad, this happened in the 2016 finals when Dwayne Casey, then the head coach of the Toronto Raptors, did it because they're not going to call a tech on that.
No, because again, it wasn't he wasn't crossing the line.
All right, and here they
Out
get
of,
into
like, Barkley.
more of
Play.
just
Out of
why it
aggression.
wasn't a tech.
It was like, hey, listen, guys, I
So,
need a timeout,
You can't
man.
hear me. It's
I
loud
gotta get
in
a
here.
timeout.
That happens.
I gotta get T.O.
This okay.
T.O.
And
That's a shtick. So that happens. They read my tweet, and somebody's driving around in Philadelphia, and they say, "I know Jesse Blake. I listen to the Steve Dangle Podcast. I'm gonna call in and say who Jesse Blake is.
No way!
No way!
No way!
They narked on us?
So next, you're about to hear a listener of this fucking podcast call in and narc on who the fuck we are.
Oh my God! Okay,
Are you ready?
please,
I don't know if I'm ready for this explanation.
I am
Oh.
absolutely-
Dear
my body
God,
is ready.
we are about to get shut down.
All right,
1 second.
I'm
Let
ready.
me
I'm
pull
ready.
this up.
I'm ready.
Woo! Here we go. This is the caller.
You're on 97.5, the Fanatic, Cameron.
Yo, what's up, Cameron?
What's up, Cameron?
Oh my goodness, I know who Jesse Blake is. You want to know who Jesse Blake is?
Who's Jesse Blake?
He's the CEO of the SDPN, the Steve Dangle Podcast Network. It's his friend's podcast. It's a Toronto Maple Leafs podcast. It's a hockey podcast.
I mean, stop. Go talk about Austin Matthews and shut the bleep up.
Yes.
Go talk about him. Hey,
Cameron! Cameron, what the fuck?
yo, who's this fucking? Yo, how come Cameron never calls in our show?
What the fuck, Cameron?
I want Cameron to call in so I can go, Cameron.
What? Why do you have to tell them who we are and then fucking cousin Chunis or the Anthony Gargano show?
No, Cousin Chunis are the morning
they're
show.
the morning show, sorry.
You know, with Cousin Chunis.
Anthony Gargano's got to tell us to shut the fuck up and go talk about Austin Matthews.
Hey! Go talk about a guy who's probably going to win the MVP trophy and shut the bleep up. Shut the fuck up. We can say shut the fuck up on here.
Yeah, we
you would
can
love
do
our
that.
show because on our show you can say shut the fuck up.
Yo, that's fucking
So
hilarious.
Hey, okay, we will never have another guest on our show until Cameron comes on and answers for his crime.
Yo, can we bring Cameron on?
Yes,
Cameron, if you're listening to this,
Where
what
are
the
you,
fuck?
Cameron?
So this is the end of Cameron.
He's the CEO of the SDPN, the Steve Dangle Podcast Network. It's his friend's podcast. It's a Toronto Maple Leafs podcast. It's a hockey podcast.
I mean, stop. Go talk about Austin Matthews and shut the bleep up.
Yes. And it's quoting the rule book, which
What are you
makes
talking about?
sense. But besides them, it's not about them.
and then move on.
It's about Joel Embiid in that second half. You know?
So then
Yo.
they start talking to the fucking.
You know what? Who are you talking about? You know what? I want to know who you're talking about.
So
I do.
They make fun of us for our a boot.
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
Yo,
Philly?
the
You kidding me?
accents?
One thing you have to give individual places in America, Philadelphia being one of them, is they are the most.
Yeah, you're not a little New York.
You will never be somewhere else and be like, am I in Philadelphia?
You know, you'll know. Boston too, New
Yeah.
York too.
No, Boston is the most Boston.
Yeah.
New York is the
Everything
most New
about
York.
But New York,
Jersey.
There's like 7 pieces of New York though. Like what borough are you
yeah,
in? Are you
yeah,
Brooklyn?
yeah.
Are you Bronx? Are you
Yeah.
Harlem?
No,
Like,
that's very true.
There should be no welcome to Philadelphia sign. It
You-
should say, oh, you're in fucking Philadelphia.
yeah. You already fucking knew that.
Hey, oh, you're in fucking Philadelphia, douchebag. Go fuck yourself.
So the only reason we know about this is because there's a Jesse Blake Sports Report discussion channel on the SDPN Discord, and somebody in there mentions they're like, I was driving and I was listening to Anthony Gargano this morning, and they read Jesse's tweet. And then we're like, what the fuck? And then Robert got on it, and we're like, okay, we need to find the show. We need the timestamp. And thankfully, they posted their whole thing on YouTube and Twitch.
That person's username, by the way, is definitely not Cameron69.
It wasn't Cameron, I don't think. Hopefully not.
Show
But-
yourself,
So,
traitor.
Yo, where's Cameron?
Show yourself.
We gotta find Cameron and bring him on.
Cameron, how? I don't know if we should we be thanking Cameron
No,
for calling
yeah,
in?
absolutely.
But he didn't defend us. He called in to fucking get him to shit on us.
That's okay. That's all right. I want Cameron. I want to thank Cameron for the free promo. Yes. And by the way, I want him to tell me, I want a rundown of how good Cruz and Chunas are.
Wow.
Or Cousin Chunas.
Cousin Chunas in the morning, yeah.
Man,
I already know Anthony Gargano's pretty good.
man, people listen to the radio in the States.
Yeah.
Hey.
What? Oh, sorry.
In the States.
Hey,
bad.
in the
My
States
bad.
they do.
Yeah. No, that's the crazy
We
thing
got
is that
at
they said it.
least 2 SDP listeners driving around listening to the radio in Philly.
Man. Okay. All things considered, that's kind of nuts.
Right?
That's kind of, yeah. We're like, we are like, they're like, some nobody network. Yeah. Like, Yeah, we're pretty new. That's okay.
CEO of some nothing network never heard of.
Yeah.
Also, even though it very obviously has origins in the Steve Dangle Podcast Network, that is not what it stands for. It is just SDPN. It's just the letters. And when I asked Adam and Jesse why they think that should be the name, they said, because you shut the fuck up. Hey, you talk about Austin Matthews, shut the fuck up. That is my job description.
Okay, Steve.
My job description is talk about Austin Matthews. Shut the fuck up.
I want
Can
to
we-
talk to Cameron.
Can we do a crossover with the Anthony Gargano show? Can we have Anthony?
should call
as-
them.
Who's the other guy?
The name's on the screen. I don't know their producer, the guy who reads the tweets.
Well,
I don't know.
whoever reads the tweets, whatever his name was, I remember thinking, yeah, that's exactly what I thought he looked like. Like that name suits him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yo, yeah.
I don't.
What are you nuts?
Yeah. Yo, I wanted
This
to.
is What Are You Nuts with Anthony Gargano.
Can we do a crossover with those guys? Because I think that would be really fun.
His name was. I don't know what his name is.
Okay. Well,
But,
anybody who listens to 97.5 The Fanatic, FM Sports Talk, which we don't have up here every
FM Sports Talk?
Yeah, you know why that exists in the States and it doesn't here? Their government allowed them to flip their AM stations over, and there's they're allowed to do that.
The signal's better on FM, right?
It doesn't reach as far, but it's clearer.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter anymore because everybody streams everything anyway. So if you got an AM or an FM, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, there's a lot more. Like in Canada, the max you can own one company in a single market is 2 AMs and 2 FMs. In the United States, you can walk into a radio company and they could own 8 radio stations in the same market. And they could own stations that somewhat compete with each other too.
Wow.
Yeah. And as an on-air personality, you might be on all 8 of them. You might be doing voice tracks and all sorts of shit. It's crazy. It's wild. Just a whole different universe.
Also, while we're here, my tweet was also correct. It is in the rules that Doc Rivers crossed half court, and it's a technical foul, and he should have been called for that. That's besides the point. But I was also right.
Well, what's the point of having it? Oh, he's going to quote the rule book now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
what the fuck?
And just because Dwayne Casey did it in 2016 does. And I don't know what Tim McAuliffe was saying there because I would say to Tim,
no,
that was still wrong then.
No.
Hey, listen.
Oh, so that's bad too. Then.
Right. You shot me. Oh yeah, but you shot somebody else in 2016, so that makes it okay. I don't understand the logic, but
I don't know why you had to take it there, but
just an extreme
There's
example.
a rule in the rule book, and they didn't call it because they're babies. They have the balls to.
Hey, why don't you shut up and talk about Austin Matthews?
I want to know the conversation after Embiid was clapping at the refs after Game 4. By the way, that was the funniest thing ever. Can I just speak on that for a moment?
I hope that Philly 97.5 Fanatic. I hope you're watching.
Well, Joel Embiid going, I think the refs had a job they wanted to do, and they did it. Yes, the NBA notedly rigged in the Toronto Raptors' favor. Yes, there's nothing that Adam Silver wants more than to get the Toronto Raptors into the second round and not James Harden and Joel Embiid. Are you okay? No, the refs wanted Game 5 in Philadelphia. Fuck yeah. What kind of a weird conspiracy theory is that? Guys,
we have an
the
opportunity
to get Joel Embiid and James Harden to finally get a championship. But you know what we need instead? We need another game from Gary Trent Jr. and Thaddeus Young. Guys, let's all get a grip.
I listened to half an hour of the Anthony Gargano show, and he's quite the character. He started off wearing sunglasses, and they took off the sunglasses, and he gets into it. But Embiid's a god, in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah,
I'm not surprised.
Fantastic player. If he had a thumb at the moment, it probably would have been.
The years to be over.
They're live right now, actually. So they do the midday show, I guess. So
leave a comment.
This is
go,
and Adam. His name is Connor Thomas.
Connor Thomas.
You see?
Tom.
That guy's Anthony Gargano.
Yeah,
Anthony, he's the star.
Yeah, Connor was the one that started the break.
Yeah, Connor's the producer who reads the tweets and stuff. Yeah.
That's so funny because when I thought the other guy was Anthony Gargano, I was like, oh, so they're both Italian. But now that I know it's him and that guy's name is Connor Thomas, I think I might have been wrong.
Well, I just that was very fun.
I mean, I'm an Italian.
I enjoyed every second of that.
That's what I was keeping from you guys. This happened on Thursday because the game was Wednesday. This happened on Thursday. I had to keep it from you guys because we couldn't do it over Zoom.
No, we couldn't.
I wouldn't be able to do all this stuff over Zoom.
God, that was great.
Yeah. I got our international trouble, our little sports network.
That is. I definitely thought you got us like a copyright strike or something. I was like, oh Jesus, Jesse.
Why are we discussing this publicly?
Oh my
Also,
God.
we need to get Cameron. Where the fuck are you,
Cameron? Show yourself. Me too.
Okay.
Me too. I felt the same way. Anyway, with that, let's begin our search for Cameron and have him on the show. And hey, if Connor or Anthony from the Anthony Gargano show are listening, we'd love to do a crossover with you guys.
Yeah.
Just read you the rules.
What?
I don't know. Just simply read you the rules.
Yeah.
I know you haven't taken the time to look them up.
Whoa.
Don't worry, we'll do that for you. It's okay. There's 3 of
Cameron.
us, there's 2 of you. It's all
Cameron,
good.
you listen to this show. You're clearly a fan. Defend us a little. Come on.
Yeah, you know what, Cameron? No. I like the heel turn.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.